new trip begins here in Warsaw, and today I'm flying to Barcelona. The main reason for that is that I'm attending an exhibition, so it's a business trip first of all, but I'm sure I will have some time to explore the city and show it to you, of course. So let's go. Let's go phrase should be a bit more emotional. Let's go. Hey, I arrived in Barcelona, and actually today in the evening we don't have that much time, but we found some nice local place near our hotel, which is called Brases Beer, and the people who work there, they are Philippines, and the place itself is serving a lot of seafood and meat, and it was really delicious. Right now there will be some videos and I will show you how it looks like, but long story short, it's really worth it, so highly recommend to visit this place. We live in an interesting hotel. The main theme and the concept of the hotel is like it is everything related to space, stars and cosmonauts, and it is based just literally on the railway station. This is how our hotel looks like. room tour. Actually pretty nice hotel, even though it is based actually near the railway station, Barcelona Sands, but the room itself is pretty nice. It cost approximately $140 per night for 2 person. So interesting decision here when it comes to the planning and the bathroom itself. Let's check the view. Some chocolate with a story behind and some free water as well. Typical breakfast. What I can tell you about breakfast in this hotel, it is pretty nice one, but I really missed some vegetables. They have only fried ones. But there are a lot of cheese, hamon, fruit, nuts, so the breakfast itself is not bad, but just to add a bit more vegetables on top would be nice. My conclusion about the hotel itself is that it's not that bad one. It's actually pretty cool and with interesting design. And as for the business trip, it is very okay to stay here, also from logistics perspective. But if I would travel on my own, I would not choose this place. Better to rent something like maybe even apartments in the city center, and that's it. But in general, overall, very good impression, and when it comes to facilities, everything, it was pretty good. One of the first impressions that you get in Barcelona is that there are a lot of people who just sleep on the street, and a lot of them are under drugs and they're using drugs, and you don't really feel safe in a way. I mean, for me myself, it's very okay, but for example, if you're a woman or a girl and you're walking through the streets during the evening or at night, it can be really dangerous. I will show you a couple of videos how the local people act like, and you will understand it. Today is the first day of the Expo, for which I actually came here to Barcelona, and I will show you how the Expo in iGaming looks like. Actually here in Barcelona Ice, it is for the first time, and it is huge. Like, I mean, massive stands and a lot of people around, so it should be interesting.
Figo, thank you so much. It was an honor having you today here.
Going on black. Couple of words about the Expo. To be honest, it was so busy that I even didn't have time to record a video and say something. In general, Expo itself was huge, even bigger than the previous one in London. And I didn't have time, unfortunately, to walk around and participate in different really interesting entertainments, but still it was first of all to do the job, to make some business, and the expo itself was very productive. And of course, besides the expo itself, I have this small piece of time to see the city. I have just few hours before my transfer to the airport, and we'll try to see the maximum of it. If you are in Barcelona and you actually need to use the public transport, it is a bit convenient. It's not the best one that I experienced in Europe, but you have two options to pay, by cash or card. And with the card it's a bit tricky because you need to physically enter the number of the card as well. So they have such kind of machines where you can buy tickets. And unfortunately there is no option, just show a bit. There is no option to pay by card when you are passing this kind of terminal. So yeah, let's go and see. Opa. Actually, I'm very amazed by the quality of my microphone. So actually the public transport in Barcelona is pretty convenient, but not the best one that I saw so far in Europe. Because, for example, you cannot just pay with your card when you are passing the terminal. You need to go to some machine and buy the ticket itself, physical, with like paper ticket. And only after that you need to validate the ticket itself. So not that good option. Also, it is very crowded during the peak hours during the day, but still very nice option if you want to visit some main attractions here in Barcelona. The ticket itself, just if you need to travel just one time, costs 2.65 euro, which is not that much comparing, for example, to Netherlands or UK, but still pretty expensive, I would say. There are a couple of other options available, for example, for 24 hours, 48 hours, or even for a week. But me, myself, I don't need it right now. so I will use it just once. So we came to the city center, and right now we will explore some most popular touristic places. Let's go! This building behind me is La Pedrera Casa Milà, which was the last civil building created by Gaudi. After that, after he finished it, he started and worked only on Sagrada Familia and spent all his time and capacity on it. This building has a unique design as the rest of the buildings created by Gaudi, and right now on the first floor there is a museum and you can just practically visit it, but also on the all other floors there are just office rooms and a lot of people work in this fantastic historic place. Now I will tell you a couple of interesting facts about Barcelona. So practically it has never been a capital of Spain, even though the city itself is a pretty big one and one of the most important and attractive cities in Spain, but it never been a capital. Also, if you are in Barcelona, there are a lot of topless ladies on the beach, but officially it is prohibited. Bikinis are prohibited in the city, so they are allowed only if you are visiting the seaside, the beach itself. This is Casa Batlló behind me, and this is another great building of Gaudi, and actually the whole design and the style of the building is related and mainly inspired by two things. It is a dragon and St. George. So practically, if you will take a look at the building itself, you will find, like, on top of it, on the roof, there is a dragon, the shape of the dragon and his kind of back. And also balconies, they are made in the shape of skulls, which symbolizes all the victims of this dragon. And the tower on top with a cross, it symbolizes a lance of St. George who killed the dragon. I really want to say that the building itself has fantastic design and one of the most picturesque and in general great buildings I ever saw. Also, there is a museum inside, and if you want, you can visit it. Unfortunately, we don't have really time for that, but in general, I think it's very nice to visit all of the buildings and to see also their interior, because it's not only about what you see outside, but inside they're fantastic as well, I'm pretty sure. And also one interesting fact is that you can practically live in this building, because everything like ventilation, like water and other infrastructure, it is prepared, so it is functional, and if somebody wants, they can live there. Also, we visited some place that is called Tuscania Food and Wine. It's literally nearby Sagrada Familia. It has a very good ratio in Google Maps, but the food was normal. It was okay. I mean, not bad, but not something like very tasty and cool. And the prices are very average. For example, you can take paella for 20 euros and a glass of sangria for 6 euro. So if you are just hungry as we were and you don't have time to visit any other places, it is okay, but would not recommend it to visit.
It's already started? Okay. So, okay. What I can tell you about this place, paella was pretty good, and as you see, Stan really enjoyed it. Stan, I will not cut it. I will just paste it like it is.
Mama, I'm famous!
Okay.
Did you see what
So
happened?
paella is nice and good, and the place highly recommend to visit.
Yeah, they're very good.
It's like an alien song, right? Oh, no, yeah.
One place that I would really like to recommend you to visit is actually White Rabbit Museum, which is behind me. It is a museum of Barcelona and it's some modern art, and the concept inside is that you have a rabbit house, and you need to squeeze in and explore all the rooms. We were invited by our partners to their party organized in this venue, and it was fantastic. I will show you videos how it looks like inside, but it is really cool place. The ticket costs 15 euro, and for that you get just 1 hour visit, and this is more than enough. The place is very cool and I was really surprised. So my big recommendation to you to visit this museum.
It is a very unique place, and didn't expect that.
No, you need to see. Like, imagine you're fighting with fingers. Like, you're saying, hey.
I'm looking for the
Spain as a country obviously has a very interesting and big football culture and history, but what I just saw right now is that in the center of Barcelona they are selling Real Madrid t-shirts, and for me this is something like more or less principal question. I mean, you will never see in Poland, for example, in Poznan they're selling Legia Warsaw t-shirts, but here, okay, Barcelona, I saw it by the way already maybe 3 or 2 times, and you know, the spirit of real derby. Come on, you cannot just sell shirts in the center of your city, shirts of your principal competitor. So here one more point goes to Polish football fans and football culture. An interesting fact is that Barcelona has the biggest football stadium in Europe. Camp Nou, which is the official home stadium of Football Club Barcelona, fits more than 99,000 people. So it's pretty a lot. Never been to Camp Nou, but I really hope one day I will visit a football game of Barcelona. Barcelona back in the days was the reason why I started training and playing football in general. I remember how I watched videos with Ronaldinho on Eurosport TV channel, and after that I decided, okay, it looks fantastic, it's interesting game, and I want to do the same. And practically I started training and spent most of my life training and playing football on the semi-professional level, also participating in local championship of Belarus in our youth teams of football club Gaudí. Yeah, but actually after Ronaldinho left Barcelona, I stopped supporting them, and my favorite 3 clubs so far are Gomel, Lech Poznań and West Ham. Following my tradition, I will go and buy a t-shirt of a local football club in Barcelona, and of course it will be Barcelona Football Club. So let's go and find the t-shirt in my collection. Oh, this one, retro, I really like it. Very nice. I successfully bought a t-shirt of Barcelona, and it actually cost 115 euros, which is not that cheap, to be honest. Usually the average price for grand football clubs in Europe is like 100, kind of fixed price. But still, it is +1 item in my collection, and I'm very happy. Right now I can mark Barcelona as almost fully covered, because I already have a t-shirt of football club Espanyol from the previous trip, and right now Barcelona as well. This is heaven for fans of Lego. Very, very big store. We came to a city center, and here I will tell you that you should definitely come to Cathedral de Barcelona and just walk around the whole area, and because it is pretty much amazing. So, do I look good?
Questionable.
Okay. whole area nearby Cathedral de Barcelona is very nice. So just walk and explore all the small and narrow streets around. We are here at the square of Saint Philippe Neri, and actually it's a very cozy and small square with a fountain in the middle, and it symbolizes all the bad things that happened here before. During the Civil War in 1938, this area was bombarded, and actually these kind of holes on the wall, they are real ones from back in the days, and people and government, they keep it just to remind about bad days that happened and about the victims and all the people that were killed during this bombardment. So the place itself also is not just this kind of negative one, but it is also pretty romantic, just because it's a cozy, nice corner in the middle of Barcelona. So highly recommend to visit and just to sit and enjoy it. This is how the square itself looks like. So there is a fountain in the middle and just cathedral and buildings. Yesterday I met with my friends and they invited me to visit a local traditional event, which is Flamenco, some exclusive content. Actually, the man on the reception, I asked him and he allowed me to visit the place and the theme where this famous event and performance is held, and just to make some videos and photos. So I will show you how it looks like when it's empty, and after that you will see how it looked when we were here yesterday. Once again, performance was fantastic. It is a combination of music, singing and dancing. Something I did not expect at all. I'm not that big fan of performances like that, but it was just 1 hour and I felt myself involved for 100% in it, and it was some kind of meditation even for me, because I was just so much impressed that I was watching it and had no side thoughts, just how the artists, they are dancing, what are their emotions. It is something amazing. I cannot even express it. You just feel it. You feel their emotions, their passion, and unexpectedly it was super cool. The prices are from 30 to 50 euros, like a ticket for it, and it's worth it. I mean, if you don't want to be very close and in VIP zone, just buy a cheapest ticket for 30 euros and the
Quiero ver si señores, como cabello nadie preventa,
So if you are in Barcelona, this is something I would really recommend you to do. Just buy tickets, visit and enjoy. Yesterday we made a very interesting decision, and after we went to Flamenco, after we ate in the restaurant, me and my friend Roma, we just decided to visit foot massage. So it was cool, really cool. I mean, worth this money. It costs 25 euro per person for 20 minutes, and you should definitely try it. When it comes to the pricing, I really believe that you can easily find some places where you will get it even cheaper. I saw something like maybe 10 euros for 15 minutes or so. So just, I think it's very affordable, and after the 3 long days of the Expo, this is something we deserved. So actually appeared to be, it was my first time, and it appeared to be a very nice way how to spend time with your friends and relax a bit.
15 minutes per class.
Yeah.
Did you see it? We also have.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. With experience, yeah. Vodka water.
One of the places I would really recommend you to visit is a Roman wall. It is a very old part of the complex, which was built in the 1st and the 4th century. Initially there were 74 towers in it, and of course some of them were destroyed, but you can still find few of them just in the city walking down the streets. So very beautiful architecture. I recommend you just to come, walk around and enjoy. Also an interesting fact is that when it was destroyed, some of the modern buildings that you will see around, they were built on the leftovers of this complex, and that's how it naturally became a part of the city itself. So just a very nice spot, recommend you to visit. Here in Barcelona, you may find a net of interesting shops where there are different famous people who are actually pooping. And the story behind is very traditional. Catalonians and local people, they use such kind of figurines when celebrating Christmas, and they were just hiding one small figurine somewhere in the corner. So it's a kind of a game for kids and actually adults to find it. After that, it became very popular, and right now in such stores you can buy a small one with, for example, some very famous people like Messi, Trump, or whoever else, like famous sinners or just in general historical persons. So I would recommend it to buy it as a present because it's a very unusual one. Initial idea why people use these small statues who are pooping is that they symbolize and they're kind of giving luck to the family or to the person, and also some good times and everything like that. So it can be potentially a really nice present for your friend or someone you want to give this present to. Sagrada Familia is most probably the most touristic place in Barcelona, and I can definitely understand why so. It is huge and impressive. I mean, I spent just 10 minutes just standing in front of the building and staring at it. That's it. The history behind the place is that Antonio Gaudi designed it and projected it, and it is still not finished, the building itself. So it was the whole kind of construction process. It started 140 years ago and it's still not finalized. Also, Sagrada Familia is not being sponsored by the government. It is built only using the money that are coming from donations and tickets. So it's kind of autonomic building of this incredible place. I hope one day we will see it finished, but not yet. Definitely recommend to visit. Unfortunately, I don't have time today to go inside because I already need to fly back home. But next time, for sure, I will visit it and go inside because I think it should be even more impressive. Gaudi was inspired by the nature. So, for example, all the big columns, they symbolize, and their shape is inspired by trees. And there are so many different details that you can see on the building, on the walls, that you can spend even hours and hours just walking around and trying to find them all. I think that this is a very cool end of my trip to Barcelona. Next time, for sure, I need and I want to visit all the beautiful parks. I want to go inside of Sagrada Familia, and again, there are many more places to visit in this beautiful city. I am really shocked and impressed in a good way and I can just say that right now it's an end of January. The weather in Barcelona is fantastic. It's something like maybe 18 degrees during the day and 15 to 13 at night. So very comfortable weather, very warm, sunny, and for me especially comparing to Poland and Poznań, and it's foggy, gray, smoggy weather. Oh wow, here I'm not counting sunny hours like I'm doing it so in Poland. So definitely a place you can easily visit anytime during the year, and you will have a very nice and warm weather. I need to go because my transfer will be 1 hour from the hotel, but I should definitely come back and explore the rest of the fantastic places that are here in Barcelona. My short but very cool and nice trip to Barcelona is over. This is definitely a place I would recommend to visit. Write me down in the comments what are your top 3 favorite cities around the world, and why so. It's really interesting for me to see your reactions and comments, and maybe I will just choose one of it for the next trip. See you very soon. Now I will